The first step to a perfect acrylic application is prep work. Prep work is everything and it will literally make or break your nails. I'm taking my Efile. This is 150 medium grit sanding bit. You want to lightly remove the shine off the natural nail. Our nail beds naturally produce a lot of oils that will cause lifting, so I'm making sure to dehydrate the nail before application. My Efile is around 5 to 6 RPMs, making sure I have a very light hand. You don't want to put too much pressure because that will cause burning and damage to the nail. You want to focus on the cuticle area, which is the most important part of your prep work. A good prep work ensures long-lasting nails, so make sure you're taking your time and removing the dry cuticles. Next, I'm adding my tips. These are my go-to straight tapered square tips, which you can find on my Amazon storefront in my description. When applying the tips, you want to measure out the tips on the nail bed before applying. You want to ensure the nail tip touches from sidewall to sidewall of the nail bed. If they are too big, they will crack and lift. And if they're too small, they'll end up hurting your client's nails and damaging them, which isn't good, so just make sure the tip touches from sidewall to sidewall. Here I'm using my small fridge magnets and attaching them to my nail cutter. When starting nails, it was so difficult to keep all the nails the same length when I was cutting them. And I found this little trick on TikTok a couple years ago and I've been using it ever since. You can find these little magnets on my Amazon storefront. Since these nail tips are already pre-shaped, there's no need to waste time filing. So now I'll be taking my Efile around 7 to 8 RPMs and lightly be blending the nail tip to the nail bed. So essentially you're going to shave down the layer of the tip to blend it into the nail bed. I do this to ensure the acrylic goes on flawless and there is no ridges. I am using my size 16 brush from my local nail supply store and my Young Nails Cover Pink acrylic. I do recommend practicing with a light cover acrylic than a clear so you know where you are placing your beads. But here I'm just showing you when you're using acrylic, you always want your nails pointing downwards, making gravity do all the work. Acrylic is all about letting it work for you and not going against it. The main thing you want to focus on is light pressure on your hand when swiping down. Since these are medium to long nails, I will be showing you how to do the 3 bead method. I placed my first bead right where the nail bed and tip meets, which will start off your apex. As you can see, I like tapping the sidewalls a lot, making sure they are smooth and clean so when it's time to file, I don't have to break my back to perfect the shape. The second bead I'll be placing right above where I started my first bead and lightly dragging down. When doing acrylic, it's all about tapping and very light strokes. Also cleaning your brush very often so you don't get acrylic stuck in your brush. Now my third bead, I am placing it on my cuticle area, and as you can see, I'm placing it a little further out from the actual cuticle and pushing the product up, tapping, 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 and dragging it down. This will take a lot of practice to not flood the cuticle, but as everything else, focus on very light taps and practice, practice, practice. There are many different ways to learn how to apply acrylic. I like to go for the 3 to 2 bead method, which works best for me, giving me the perfect apex and structure of the nail. I started with my first bead again where the nail bed and the tip meets, facing the nail down, letting gravity level out the acrylic. The second bead is to build your apex for your nails not to break. I am placing it right above the first bead and I am lightly tapping and flattening the top of the bead, letting the acrylic level out but controlling it from overflowing the sides. That's why it's very important to have your nail facing downward so the acrylic is easily working with you and not against you. Always cleaning the sides, grabbing monomer and swiping, making sure your sides are clean and crisp so when you're filing, you don't have to break your back. Here I'm placing my cuticle bead and it's a little under the cuticle and I push up and I start tapping into the pocket of the cuticle. I do like my cuticle bead to be more on the wet side so it smoothly blends into the rest of the nail. And look how flawless this nail looks. That is the perfect 3-bead method right there. But it takes a lot of practice, so just be patient with yourself and keep on practicing. Also, a little tip, I like to drain my nail brush after I pick up my bead. So I'll pick up my bead and flip my brush on the other side and drain it with the paper towel. Just a little tap, not too dry neither. And I feel like that makes a big difference. Always remember, to get the hang of acrylic, you have to practice your liquid to powder ratio, which is the amount of liquid to grab and the amount of powder to grab, which would either make your acrylic dry faster or be more wet. You need to learn like the middle ground and know when to grab a drier bead and when to grab a wetter bead. For my first and second bead, I like them to be in the middle, and my cuticle bead I always have a little wetter so it can smoothly blend into the nail. It always depends on the liquid you're using and the powder. Let me just inform you, cheap is not always good. Make sure to be using quality products because they will make a difference. I'm not saying go splurge on the most expensive nail products either, because even the most expensive will not work. You just have to test products out and see which one works best for you. I didn't get the hang of application until I ventured out and started trying other products, and I found what works for me. Brands I do recommend as a beginner nail tech would have to be Not Polish and Young Nails. Their powders are like butter. They are so smooth and they blend so seamlessly into the nail, making it a lot easier to learn application. I also like Mia's Secret Monomer. It works with a lot of different brands and it doesn't change the consistency of the powder. So I do recommend that to test out, and I do recommend to buy small products instead of buying like a whole bulk of products and you never even tried it and then you don't end up liking it. Yeah, I did that a lot and I wasted a lot of money. But keep in mind, in the beginning, you will be investing a lot before making any profit. You have to get the hang of doing nails and practice every single day. And I promise you, you will get better. So be patient and enjoy the journey. Believe in yourself. It will take you very far in life. And with that being said, that includes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and this helps you out. Please don't forget to comment down below any questions you might have. I'll be more than happy to answer and help you guys out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel to watch part 2 of this series that's all about e-filing and filing, and more beginner nail tutorials. I truly appreciate every single one of you guys, and I have a lot more videos in store. So stay tuned, and thank you so much. Love you, nail besties!